What up, world? It's your boy Jay Bunny. It's November 7th, 2024. We just had our election. Just got home from a long shift. Kind of made a fool of myself today on my Instagram stories. Anyways, still have music on my mind. And today, I just wanted to riff a little bit about music that inspires. What do I mean? I mean the kind of music that when you listen to it, you can imagine a little cinematic experience in your head. And you can imagine others doing the same thing. For example, you hear like Closer by the Chainsmokers. And if that inspires you, then you'd like when they say like, baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. By the like, you're picturing like maybe like a younger couple that are really sexy, and the point is that there's an image that comes into your mind, whether you are conscious of it or not, when you listen to that. Or when you listen to another song, and it gives you a thought of like, yeah, like I would listen to this, like metal or something, right? And you'd be like, I'd listen to this when I'm like going to war, or like if I was training for the UFC or something, right? And well, basically my point is that I think maybe one key ingredient that I myself have been missing is, that element of that, that question, asking that question, what does this sound inspire? And I think if you're tapped into that, I don't know, it's like, in my mind, I'm like, I see it. Like, I see such vivid pictures and such cinematic quality when I listen to music. Good music. When I listen to good music, it like lubricates my brain to where the gears turn and I'm able to build this whole world in my mind of my imagination, I guess. I'm just doing my best to try to explain like that when I started making music, and like, up till now, there's so many things to think about, right? You're thinking about sound and like instrument timbre. There's a million fucking things, right? There's a million things. There's your recording, there's like engineering, there's like, how do you like your market or whatever. There's so many things to think about. But I feel like one like question that like encapsulates that all is like, is it immediately inspiring? When people listen to it, if you want them to dance, does it, when you hear it, do you instantly imagine like, oh, Michael Jackson dancing? Do you instantly imagine some break dancer like dancing? Do you instantly imagine like a flash mob? If you're writing about romance and you play the song, do you instantly imagine like you're does it take you back to your breakup point in your relationship, and you start imagining your ex, and like, or maybe you start thinking about your crush, or somebody that you think is really special that you might have feelings for. When all of the design elements of a song point to that and allude to this inspiration, it's magic, because I feel as though the artist knows what they're doing, right? And they know, and they're communicating their they're communicating their soul sonically with sound. They're communicating the intention of that moment with the structure of the song, with the instrument choice, the music, like theory wise, they're communicating that all. They're building a world, and they're building a moment, right? Well, I'm trying my best to explain this. One example is like, okay, you know the song, like, if I die young, bury me in satin, lay me down on a bed of roses, sing me by the river at dawn, take me away with the words of a love song. Apologies for my singing. I don't feel like singing right now. But when I hear that, and I hear the acoustic qualities of that, and I hear the choice of like a mandolin, and like, you know, the delivery of that, and the structure, right? The choice to say, if I die young, to start it with that, I myself immediately imagine, like, you know, some innocent girl who died tragically, and she's from the country, and she has, and you know, all this stuff, like she has probably Christian values, and she's probably lived somewhere where there's a lot of grass, and you know, I have people that in my mind that I've, you know, met in real life that I think kind of match that vibe. Like they probably wear flannel, and they probably wear jeans, you know, all this stuff, like it just comes pouring out of you so vividly. Or you know, other songs where it's like, you know, the Bruno Mars, like Marry Me, like, it's a beautiful night, we're looking for something dumb to do, hey baby, I think I wanna marry you. Like, does that not like make you think like some cheesy couple and a dude that like is just putting his whole heart out there and is, you know, being goofy in a way, but in a way like that makes your heart melt. It's like a very warm and very sweet, and like I feel like so many people vibe to the song because on some level it inspires them. It inspires them to chase that, you know, that relationship, and that moment where you realize that you want to marry someone, like you found someone that you want to, you know, marry. That's that Bruno Mars' ode to marriage, or at least that moment, right? That's what I'm kind of getting at, right? That Bruno Mars wants to build this world sonically around this moment and paint this picture, this vibe, this energy that's very specific, and he has this vision, and its popularity proves that a lot of other people were able to pick up on that same energy from a conscious or subconscious level, and they saw what Bruno Mars saw in his head without his eyes, you know? they saw what the songwriters wanted them to see without their eyes or their imagination. That's all I'm saying. And I think in my music thus far, I haven't really asked myself, what am I inspiring? What picture am I painting? Am I, and it's one of those things where, like, when you start out, I feel like a lot of songwriters and musicians, they do their best to emulate and learn from their favorite musicians. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think something that gets lost in that objective is the question of, what picture am I actually painting? From if you're analyzing, your song through so many technical channels, and you're like, okay, my voice sounds like, if you're a female artist, my voice sounds like Taylor Swift, or it sounds like Billie Eilish. My delivery is like close to Ariana Grande. Or, if you're a producer and you're like, okay, my hi-hat trill kind of sounds like Flume, and this synth sound kind of sounds like Excision, and my drum thing kind of, I know I took that from like this artist, like Diplo. I mean, the chords are like very happy, like I'm kind of doing an Avicii move here. We get so focused on that stuff, that technical stuff, that the only thing that's actually keeping us from getting to that greatness isn't technical at all. I mean, on some level, it requires understanding, that complete, not mastery, but complete grasp of these technical concepts. But it's like on a almost like imagination plane. What does the song make you imagine? Does it even spark any imagination? What moment do you see yourself listening to this music, or see a character in your head listening to this music? Do you even see anyone listening to the music? I'm guilty of it. I mean, I'm guilty of not caring, trying to be like, oh, I don't care what the world thinks, right? And I don't care what anyone else thinks. All I can control is what I think. Well, what I think is like, I have this gift of music, and I want to be able to share it with others so that they can see how awesome my vision is. But I have to ask myself, is it even possible to see that vision? What vision am I actually making? Or am I trying to just emulate my heroes? Am I trying to just copy what's been done from a technical point, to where they'll listen to my song and it'll be like, oh, that sounds a lot like Black Bear. Ooh, I like him. Am I going for that? Or am I going for, damn, I like him, and I'm not sure why, but I love this song. This song slaps. And guys, why does it slap? Because it inspires. It slaps because it makes you want to move. It doesn't just force you to move. It makes you want to move. It makes you anticipate what's coming later in the song, those special moments, and love the song for that. And when you're driving or working out, or maybe doing something that you don't want to do, like just working your day job, and you play that song, is it going to take you away? Is it going to help you escape into your mind? Is it going to inspire you like that Eminem song? Is it going to be the soundtrack to you, losing like 50 pounds? Is it going to be the song that moves you to tears when you think about a relative? Is it going to be the song that, puts you in that position, brings you back in time to when you were a kid, or to when you got broken up with, or to your high school prom, right? I think it's just important to ask, will this music inspire? What am I trying to inspire with this music? Do I want people to dance, laugh, cry? Like, what exact moment? What am I thinking? Like, I find a lot of times when I sit down and I'm making a song, I yearn for inspiration, and it's almost like I have this idea of, I have a bank of melodies in my head that have inspired me in certain moments, and then depending on what is going on in my life and like what I'm passionate about, I try to have those melodies in my subconscious and kind of craft something that sounds akin. But I guess moving forward, taking a step back from the technical is what I'm going to do. Mix-wise, production-wise, songwriting-wise, influence-wise, genre-wise, commercialism-wise, stepping back and being like, what picture is this song painting? Anyways, it's your boy, J Bunny. And whoever you voted for, I don't care, because you're clearly interested in what I have to say. So I support that. And no matter what happens, I'll always be making music. And I'll always have what on my mind? Music is music. Thank you again for watching. This is J Bunny.